ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपादस्वामी इति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। So, as we are reading from the book The Nectarean Ocean, so we have just completed the ninth offense, and we are in the questions and answer sections of this after ninth offense. So, the first question is name the different kinds of sins. One is intentional sin, and second one is unintentional sin. In an intentional sin, if a person commits intentional sins, thinking that the bad effect will wash it off by the power of the holy name, then he cannot be regarded as a serious devotee. He is a cheater and will have to face the bitter results of his offenses via like fear, lamentation, and eventually spirit death, spiritual death. Unintentional sin. If a devotee commits a sin without purpose, a so called accidental fall down, this sin is only temporary and will be washed away by the power of the holy name. And second question, enumerate the different stages of sin. The different stages of sin according to the Vedas. Every sin has three stages. One is ignorance, second one is the desire to commit a sin, and the third one is sinful act in itself. Third question, what is the danger for those who are on the intermediate stage between the two kinds of sin? As long as a devotee is dwelling on the intermediate stage between sinful life and pure life, he will keep a certain relationship to his past sins. Some neophytes on the spiritual path vividly remember their past sinful lives. They reside in the gray area of not yet being fully determined to accept everything favorable for their spiritual advancement. Their actions may already be spiritualized, but their mind is still attached to previous habits. Thus, it may occur that they fall back on them. However, as long as they do not commit further sins in this intermediate period, the effects of past sins will soon vanish. And the more they are observed in chanting the holy name, the sooner these traces will completely fade away. Question 4. How can one be freed from the great offense of having committed an intentional sin? The all merciful Lord is prepared to give the unintentional blunders of devotees. He does not tolerate when someone commits premeditated sins, calculating to be excused by the chanting of holy name. By some error, this offense is committed. One must cleanse oneself in the assembly of pure Vaishnavas. Sinful desires are like thieves on the path of bhakti, and the pure Vaishnavas are guardians of this path. One should therefore call aloud the names of his guardian, the spiritual master, Jai Srila Prabhupada, for when the guardian appears, the thieves run away. But if a person commits intentional sins, thinking that the bad effect will be washed off by the power of the holy name, then he cannot be regarded as a serious devotee. He is a cheater and will have to face the bitter result of his offenses, like fear, lamentation, and eventually spiritual death. Even the mere thought of committing a sin with the intention to annihilate it later through the strength of the holy name cannot be compensated by any remedy. Fifth question, what does it mean to give the holy name? This offense refers especially to giving the holy name by the means of Diksha, initiation. To instruct a faithless person on the glories of the holy name means to initiate him. Last question is question number 6. Since Lord Chaitanya instructed us to propagate the holy name everywhere, why does the Vaishnava Guru not initiate someone in the holy name who has no faith? Faithless persons cannot understand such topics. At least they will consider it an exaggeration. It is a general principle for preachers to avoid statements which cannot be understood by their audience. One should simply encourage the faithless beginner to accept the spiritual path. Later, when he is established in spiritual life and seeks further progress, one can help him to become safe on his path. When he has developed faith in the chanting of the holy name, he will approach a bona fide guru, accept the holy name from him, and finally attain prema. These are the questions from offense ninth. So we will be continuing 10th offense. So to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain the material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Shrutvapi nama mahatmayam ya priti rahito dhamma. In order to consciously avoid this offense, it is necessary to understand the nature of material attachments, how they bind to material consciousness and obstruct offenseless chanting. For this, it is helpful to study the mentality of a materially attached person. Because his intelligence is covered by false ego, a person with material mentality sticks to the concept of I and mine. He thinks I am a Brahmana, I am a Vaishnava, I am a musician, or I am a rich person. In other words, he thinks himself to be the doer. He sees the world as his property and considers himself the creator of his destiny and the enjoyer of his activities. Aham mamadi parama. He thinks himself to be his own protector and maintainer and lives in the conception of this is my opinion, my wealth, my wife, these are my brothers, my sons, and my daughters. Thus, he is fully convinced of being able to attain all perfection and fame through his own efforts. Such persons are very proud of their knowledge. They consider themselves to be the Lord and Master and believe that they are able to increase and expand art and science by their own intelligence. Lord Rishabhadeva calls this Janasya Moho Yam Aham Mameti. The illusion of the materially attached is the wrong conception of Aham I and Mama mine. Attachment to bodily designations is a symptom of spiritual immaturity. It is an obstacle in the development of devotional service. This deeply rooted mentality can only be overcome by complete surrender to the holy name. When the spirit soul wants to enjoy in this material world, he has to accept a false identity just to be able to move and act in this foreign medium. If we want to dive into water, we similarly have to first dress in a diving suit. Our lungs has to be adapted to the respiration underwater by means of oxygen bottles, and our eyes need diving glasses. This means that we actually exchange our senses in such a way that we are able to exist underwater. Similarly, the spirit soul has to put on the diving suit of the material body to be able to exist in the kingdom of Maya. Our lungs are nothing but material oxygen bottles of the spirit soul. In one of his ecstasies, Lord Chaitanya impressively expressed this point. My dear friends, unless I serve the transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes of Sri Krishna, all my days and all my senses will become entirely useless. Now I am uselessly bearing the burden of my senses, which are like stone blocks and dried wood. I do not know how long I will be able to continue without shame. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2.28. The self realized, spiritually protected soul can clearly realize the material body which he carries around with all its needs as a burden. No, as a burden. Not only is material covering the body, but this whole material existence is discerned by him as an unnatural encumbrance. In the same way one may feel the pressure of a bundle of wood on the shoulders. Sarvagna Acharya describes such an attitude. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, how extraordinary your devotees are. For them, the wide ocean is like a tiny puddle. The sun like a firefly, the looming golden mount Sumera like a lump of dirt, a powerful emperor like a minor servant, priceless jewels like useless stones, desired trees like a dry twigs. For them, the whole material existence is like an insignificant bundle of straw. What else is to say? They regard their own body as a useless burden. Mana Siksha, text 5 para. So I will be stopping here. So the summary is that in the 10th offense, uh, to not to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain middle attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Yesterday in the yesterday class also, Prabhu emphasized a lot on this offense. So first of all, we need to have the strong faith in the holy name and our spiritual master and Krishna. Then only we can able to chant. When we don't have the faith, we always thinks about me and mine. Always, wherever you go, we will think, "Oh, I'm doing." That's it. But that false ego dragging a lot that will not give the pure taste of the holy name. We always thinks about this material positions, about ourselves. So, so we need to think that we are not the doer at all. We are always servants. So we need to serve the God. Then only when we have the basic faith, the basic fundamental in our mind, that then the false ego will be minimized, eradicated. Then we will have the strong faith. Then we can able to continue. That's what the basic essence of this 10th offense.